The Nazis only lasted a dozen years and they got their ass handed to them in a high hat. Catholic Church has a far more prosperous and prestigious record of murder and torture and tyranny and oppression and nonsense, not to mention the kid fucking, and they're still around and more popular than ever. I'd be far more afraid to hear someone go, you know that new Nazi? He used to be a pope. No shit. I'm fucking out of here. That guy's dangerous.
Yeah. I did that joke in Alabama. These three rednecks met me after the show. Hey, buddy, come here. Mr. Funny Man, come here. Hey, buddy, we're Christians. We don't like what you said. I said, then forgive me. A lot of Christians wear crosses around their necks. You think when Jesus comes back, he ever wants to see a cross? It's kind of like going up to Jackie Onassis with a little sniper rifle pendant, you know. Hey, Jackie, just thinking of John.
I'm not sorry if you're offended. I'm actually sorry just the fact that you're a Catholic. It's got to be one of the most ludicrous fucking beliefs. And I love watching the Pope bounce around in his little Pope mobile. That's the 3 feet of bulletproof plexiglass around him. Boy, there's faith in action. Christianity is such an odd religion. Eternal suffering awaits anyone who questions God's infinite love. That's the message, isn't it, that we're brought with? Believe or die.
Thank you, forgiving Lord, for all those options.
An all-knowing, all-powerful ruler of the universe who holds your life in his hands, can read your mind, and is obsessively concerned with the minute details of your sex life. It's a comforting thought. God, my own personal stalker.
You unconditionally. I have already given you a condition. If you don't put a small amount of water on a baby's forehead, it burns for eternity. That's the condition of a fucking psychopath. It doesn't matter if you're an idiot and you're stupid and you can't fucking catch a ball and everything in your life is retarded, because you know you'll always be welcome with God. God loves the stupid. You're a borderline fucking mentalist. You're an idiot. You're like a 13-year-old kid who still believes in Santa. Oh, still gonna get killed. Oh, fuck you. I don't hate people who believe in God. I don't hate them. But I just don't want to talk to them. I don't want to be around them. It's like how I don't hate the mentally insane, right? But the mentally insane and religious people are the same fucking bag. If I'm standing at a bar chatting to either of them, eventually I'll walk away going, okay. Americans, born in the right country, you get to go to heaven, you're born in the right place. Because God's very particular about where you're born. What is wrong with them? They must be retarded. They're believing in the wrong God. Not us, though. We were born in the right country. That's why they always say, God bless America. Because the world's billions of years old, and America's 250 years old. And that's when God decided to choose a team. Now, why is there no mention of kangaroos in the Bible? Could it be that when the Bible was written, Australia hadn't been found, therefore, no mention of kangaroos? But didn't God create kangaroos? Isn't the Bible written through the hand of man, through the voice of God? Why wouldn't he mention the kangaroos? It seems to me that they only seem to mention things in the Bible that are within a 5-mile radius of the guy writing it. Like, if I was God, at the end of the Bible, I would have leant in and gone, oi, tell him it's round. Didn't know the world was round. Fucking built it, didn't know it was round. Now, when I started this show, my first routine was about how lesbians were fat, ugly, useless, with no sense of humour. And you couldn't applaud more. Then I killed an Arab man from a fucking helicopter. Just shot him dead. Then I said that Christians are bullshit and there is no God. And that's the moment when half the audience chose to be offended. Was that the fucking moment that got you? How very Christian of you towards the Muslims and the lesbians. What are Christian values? The 10 Commandments. What are the 10 Commandments? Very sensible rules to live your life by. But you know what's a lot of shit about them? The fact that you had to have them written down. The fact you couldn't figure out internally not to kill people. Don't steal. Really? You should just know these. These should be internal in you. The Bible should be one sheet of paper. And on that sheet of paper it should say, try not to be a cunt. That's what's written in the Bible. That's God's book. As far as I know, the devil hasn't brought out a book. We don't know his side of the argument, right? If you ask me, the devil and God are having an argument, the devil's being a bigger man, because God's just writing shit about him, and the devil's going, I'm not even going to fucking comment, son, if you're talking about me like that. Let's think about this rationally, right? Which isn't a good point for the Christians, rational thought. Fire and brimstone and eternal agony. That's what's hell meant to be, like it's written in the Bible. Now, God runs the entire universe except for one place, which is run by hell. And the devil is his biggest enemy, and they don't get along whatsoever, right? Now, if you act bad, you go to hell. Now, you've lied, you've cheated, you've stole, you've been a prick your entire life. Why would the devil punish you? You're one of his boys. He's going to fucking dig you. That's where all the hookers and drugs are going to be. Don't think they're going to make their way into heaven. Don't think God's going to open the gate and go, Jim, you've been such a good guy. See this big-titted whore with a line of coconut? Knock yourself out, son. Religious people will forgive God for fucking anything. But when he does bad things like hurricanes, AIDS, cancer, child molestation, then we just go, oh, well, God works in mysterious ways. What type of an excuse is that? What is mysterious about acting like a fucking asshole? That is like the least mysterious activity since the dawn of time. If I ever date a religious girl, she's going to come home and I'm going to be raping her mum, right? And she's going to look at me and go, what are you doing? And I'm going to go, I'm mysterious. I've always been mysterious.
Folks, it's time to evolve, man. That's why we're troubled, because the church, the state, everything's failing. They're no longer relevant. You know, evolution didn't end with us growing opposable thumbs. How come we don't see Bradley tanks knocking down Catholic churches? You know, I mean, if, in fact, child abuse is your concern. Clinton launches 22 cruise missiles on Baghdad in retaliation for the alleged failed assassination attempt against George Bush. We launched 22 $3 million apiece cruise missiles to Baghdad, killing 6 innocent people. I think that was a little overdone. You know what we should have done? We should have embarrassed the Iraqis. We should have assassinated Bush. And said, that's how you do it, Taliban. Don't fuck with us.
Suppose you were walking by my house one day. You've been walking by for a long time. And I were to go up on the porch and say, hey, stop, I've got some good news. You don't have to go down in my basement. This is great news. You've been walking by all this time. You've been ignoring me, and I deserve to be recognized and honored. And you've been ignoring me, and it's made me so angry. And so I built this torture chamber down in the basement. And there's some hooks down there, and there's some sharp things, and there's some vats of sneaky stuff, and there's a furnace, and there's some chains, and it's horrible, and there's flames. But you don't have to go down there. I sent my son down there, and it was gruesome. I tell you, it was really horrible, but that satisfied my anger. And now his blood was shed, and now you're free. You don't have to go down. All you have to do, come on up here, just come up and tell my son that you love him, hug him, and then you can move in with us. We'll live up in the attic, and you can tell me how great I am. You can just tell me how much you love me, and we'll do that. Won't that be great? So would you keep walking?